tell them to go alone into the world.
A low hum, footsteps in sand, and a female voice cuts through as Untitled for Badagry opens the maiden edition of the Re-Assemblages Symposium in Lagos.
They will be ready for the sand. Let them seek the sea line.
The performance is rooted in Badagry, once a slave trade passage, but now a coastline where history refuses silence. Curator Naima Hassan shares the intention behind the gathering to bring artists, historians, archivists and thinkers from around the world into one room, not to bring answers, but to ask more honest questions. She also introduces the African Arts Libraries Lab, a growing hub for African artistic knowledge.
Whilst we have been, over the last years, engaged in a very strong debate around the cultural heritage restitution, discourse, which primarily privileges objects in museums, particularly colonial contexts. This is a very different kind of project that deals instead with archives of art. The African Arts Libraries Lab is a new lab for libraries and archives interested in the kinds of work that we are doing today. And that means all kinds of institutions, whether small or big, interested in caring for library and archive collections of art.
Today's conversation invites us to think.
During the first panel discussion tagged, "How will we share this earth?" Speakers explore displacement, colonial maps, and the idea that African identities have always been fluid and unbound by borders.
I am the outcome of someone whose ancestors was forcibly removed from West Africa via the Middle Passage. So in that way, home becomes thrice removed, and my relationship to the land is something that is in constant negotiation and renegotiation.
Later, in a discussion on destabilizing the archive, speakers questioned the colonial version of events. For them, repair is about returning stolen objects, funding local historians, and restoring ancestral dignity.
The Makishi mask is actually a representation of an ancestor who leaves the spirit world during a time of year and comes to the physical world to pass on knowledge to the next generation as a way of guidance, as a way of managing the environment, and as a way of continuing the knowledge systems. But by taking away this artifact and bringing it behind a glass, it doesn't do that act anymore. And within the community itself, it creates a further absence that compounds.
As the symposium draws to a close, attendees are provoked to shift their focus from ownership of history to the core responsibility of carrying it forward.